Yeah, it just opened up here. I wanted to be set up in case it did rain. I guess now, just hoping it'll pass. This stuff is good and dry so far here. Well, I guess the rain stopped. And here's the tent back here. Motorcycles locked up. And, oh man, look at this pretty one here. Flowers are amazing. Okay, this is the Cache National Forest, Bear River Mountain Range, and I guess included as part of my bug out, the previous locations were further south, and just a little bit further south is White River, maybe White Creek Canyon. I was there about 6 to 8 weeks ago. This particular location is called Gibson Lakes. There's a real nice one down here. The first one that the road comes to, and then it comes back and circles around a smaller one, which I think is dry now. It's the third week of July, and the creeks are starting to dry out. And what I really wanted to do was to get up here and check out some of these rocky, kind of rough ridge lines. And there's some nice big old trees up here, pretty amazing. Like this guy here. Another goal of mine is to connect these upper ridge areas to the last one that I left off at. The next water stop for me tomorrow is hopefully the White Creek. And it's just this way for sure, but look, we've got in so many of these dips out here. You get stuck in a big thick forest. Like some of these are amazing, they're still here. Like over in here, it's beautiful. But my fallback is this far high ridge, and in between it is the Logan River and the main road in. to this kind of slanted rock outcropping. Very distinct. Could be the landmark for me to find my lakes and motorcycle. Alright, so I know there's animals up here. And I don't want to be scared. There's some pretty slippery spots. But I came up and I got the view and the information. Way down is the Double Mountain Peak, Double Butte Peak. In this valley, White Creek Valley, White River Valley. And I'll just have to come around these rocks tomorrow. And I can see the back canyon. This is pretty amazing. And it's time to go back. Here it is. Gibson Lakes, which I'm not really close to any water. Fantastic old trees. And I spent the night under this one here. There's a couple clusters here on the slope with an agitated hawk up there. Been kind of squawking the last few. It's been squawking last night and this morning. It was really super quiet last night. like you could hear a pin drop. And I'm experimenting with this really super light sleeping bag, which just barely did the trick. It's called a Slumberjack, and I couldn't find the manufacturer's name on the bag. So I looked at the temperatures for this week, and it said 55 degrees, and so this just barely kept me warm. I would have to roll over to warm up. The bottom stayed nice and warm. The top, with the cold coming down, got cold. Last night, I'm pretty sure a coyote came up this slight draw here, and he probably smelled me, smelled my dinner. What I do is, here's my bag right there hanging. It's gotta smell like me. And so he came up and was whoa, 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 real loud, real close. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It echoed everywhere. He woke me up, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. You can't eat my dinner or something. I know you smell my dinner." And he backed off. He came back and did it again, and this moaning bird, this night moan, was like, "Oh!" He did it like right after the coyote did this, and a huge owl somewhere just went through his cadence real big and loud, like, "Shut up, coyote." It was weird. I got something else that I'm experimenting with. No, this is not my full pack. This is a subsidiary pack. And I got it in my head to take this North Face Ranger lightweight pack and also kind of a knapsack on the front, because I've traveled through airports like that and it's no problem. So this is not exactly what I wanted, because it's big, it's bulky. I got it for $3 though at the thrift store. But the idea was to distribute some of the back weight into the front bag, because on this trip I've got a huge food bag, easily. That's 8 pounds, I think, or 7 pounds. It's a lot. The reason being is that I'm gonna try and push the limit again, just to get away. I'm looking at 6 days up here, this being the second. Today I am going to just kind of scout around the bottom of this rock mountain here and go into White Creek, White River, I don't know what it's called. Not much there. I even speculate that it's dry now. But I'll be looking for springs. There's a spring at the very top of the canyon. I'll need to find some water today for tonight's camp. Okay, I got the 2 packs situated. The priority in here is food. It's on the bottom. Usually the sleeping bag is on the bottom, and it's a little lopsided now. It's not overweighted. The second priority is the nice camera up here. Some drinking water in here. Water filtration. The nice thing about this bag is that there are separate areas. Okay, so in here I've got my extra clothes. Let's see if it all fits. So I've got about a mile through forest. I see the lake down there. And there's I'll have to veer down and to the left because I think there's some cliffs on the backside. Okay, so there's basically three choices I have through these forests. One is open meadows, two, pine forests, three, this aspen, which I don't like at all. It's too close and too thick. I recall sort of a line going down of aspen and forest. I'm gonna go up here and look. Well, in a short while I'm at kind of the crest here. This drops down kind of steeply, but the bottom isn't too far away. I could probably do this, but I'm gonna go a little farther down and look for a gentler slope and possibly a spring. A little steep in here, and right through here I see more meadow, and I'm just gonna go right straight to it. There's that Rocky Mountain. I've come down this slope, and this is right here kind of a miracle. This is flowing from the spring. I don't think this is the main creek. I might be wrong, but I'm thinking this is from the spring up this way. I'm on the trail. I think the creek is dry because I think the channel is over here. I don't think it's over there. It's not running. It's right in here and it's dry. And so here's my story. I'm going back to that spring, a couple hundred yards back, to load up. I don't have a choice. I don't know what's up here, and that's where I want to go. Still got a little trail here. Probably going to be on my own, and I'm just going to go up this way unless the trail keeps going. Might be standing water in here. Not right now, maybe. I don't know. This is where the trail ends, I'm thinking. Could be even a animal trail, stock cow trail to this point. The map shows two trails. One there was no sign of going back that way, and the next one goes up after the spring, which I think is back that way. All right, this is the top of White Canyon, and the drainage pretty much just starts here, and the trail just ended right over here. I'm going to follow this ridge line up, not far, maybe half of a mile. And basically, there's a point where 4 trails intersect. And I don't think any of the trails exist. But I'd like to get up there for the views, spend the night, and pick a different canyon to go down tomorrow. It was a real nice thing to find that spring and running water. It was all there is back here. And so I've got a little more than 4 liters right now. Yeah, the setup is working okay. It's a little sweaty in the front, but the weight is evenly distributed. And there's not a whole huge amount in this rear pack. Just came from down here and got, here's some nice, more level ground to hike up on. And I don't think there's a whole lot more to go. So this does look like a trail. And the map shows it going up this ridge line. I don't think any people use it. Just like this incredible mesa here above White Canyon. And here's the crest. I'm sure it drops back down. And there's kind of a saddle here with the forest. And the crest is over this way too. So I think I'm gonna look for a camp somewhere down away from this crest in case some big weather comes through. Holy hell. Just like that. Poof. This is fantastic. Very nice morning here. Early sun shot. And not too cold. I did have some company. Late in the afternoon, I was hearing some loud noises over here. There's kind of another grouping of trees. And kind of like some weird, like, breath noises, but kind of coupled with like a whack. Like it sounded like somebody was whacking something over there. But this was only 6 or 8 times branch breaking. And my thought was a bear, because a bear is going to make noise. But I didn't really want to intrude. I just kind of circled around these trees to see if it had come this way. And then later again, after an hour and a half, noises, kind of whacking, but then it kind of sounded like it went away. And then in the middle of the night there was a 4-legged guy right in here, and his reaction was less of a huff, more of a snort, kind of a short snort. And the animal signs, I've seen lots of, like maybe elk, sheep droppings in these forests. Right in here there are bedding places, but I don't really want to intrude. I'd like to see them, but I don't want to scare them. Today I'm going up to the high point and back down the next canyon over here called Boss Canyon. I've got about 2 miles to go before any possible water signs. I've got 2 liters to take me through, which is plenty. If I don't find water, I'll just hike the canyon out down to the bottom, which intersects with the Logan River. Breakfasts are a nice combination of Raisin Bran, flavored oatmeal, and granola. Don't miss your mouth. Here's a sure sign of the trail. About a 1/4 mile from the top, I think, or where it's supposed to intersect with other trails. You can see in here, right there. This is pretty amazing here to see a trail sign. It looks like it gets used here. You can hardly read it. North Fork High Creek. Yeah, so good to know. This is probably easy to follow. And then someone has put up cairns here. However, this one is not marked. Here. There's nothing much left of it till you get to the bottom. Okay. This one here, I think, is Wilderness Peak. It could definitely reach it. along these ridge tops. Well defined here. White Canyon down here. I climbed over the ridge over there somewhere, dropped down. I think we're going around the back of this. Here's the view. Amazing. And reward, 2-track. And there's actually a 2-track coming up right here, I think. No problems. Just to find water and now camp in this valley here. Am I dressed for the occasion? One problem with this bag is I can't see where I'm putting my feet. Okay. Look at that 2-track, boy. Looks like fun. This is pretty cool. Oh no, an old sled. Okay, and there's always some old bed springs at these places. Hey. Shit. This is pretty cool. Probably all kinds of critters in here. Except you got a wood stove right there. Here we got a trickle of water. I think it's just before the road crosses south. Yeah, there's some water. Well, I guess I could look for a camp. Maybe what I was planning. A nice little flow through here and a clean catch for some really good water. And I'm about, I don't know, 75 yards this way. And this is a thick forest. There's my tent. It's a really nice, varied forest. This one is big and fat. It's thick, man. And I've got a couple trees that I look for. I've been staring at them. There's this one. So there was a woodpecker going crazy up there. And man, I need some bright colors for the tent. There's a swarm of bees above my tent. My camp is down in this area, but the bugs aren't even after me right now. It's a beautiful forest, just that it's so varied. Big trees, young trees. Not too many animal signs back here. There were more animal signs down by that small bit of running water. And this one is pretty cool. These rocks on this far ridge sloping down. The afternoon rain again. It's nice to cool off though, I'll tell you that. It's that crazy woodpecker. It was cold. My nose was cold. That's my my gauge for it's a cold night. It was in the 40s. It had to be. And the breeze was coming this way. So I'd tried some different things last time to stay warm, like by wearing my hiking pants. It didn't help. It just kind of like didn't get warmer. It didn't get colder. And so, yeah, I'd gone to sleep with my doors open. So eventually I closed the doors and just let the fly hang close to the tent. It seemed to keep some cold out, but I didn't warm up. I had earplugs though for the cattle. And then in the early morning, pre-dawn, the birds fire up, and I said to myself, I'll listen to that. So I took the earplugs out, and the woodpecker came by. Oh, I'm still kind of cold to the bone. It's a different opportunity to camp in such a thick and varied forest. They're far and few between. Today, just gonna wander down the valley looking for that creek coming out of this mountain here. And this is the fourth day out here in the Bear River mountain range. So far I've probably hiked about 5 miles and changed about 2,500 feet in elevation. And this is pretty much the farthest point away from the motorcycle that I'm gonna be. I'm gonna start heading back. There's 3 possible likely camp locations that I foresee. Today I get fresh socks and fresh underwear, and I'd like to find some running water for a camp location to clean up some clothing and tidy up. And that's about it. We got the clouds building early today. No doubt rain at some point. And I've been holding out for the perfect feather. This one, oh, let me look at you. I'm thinking that's a flicker feather. Work of the beaver. I might get a little wet. Okay, this is the parking lot's down here, and there's the sheep trailer. A couple horses over there. Okay, and I hear water this way. It's the creek I was looking for. I'm just going to go up into the forest and look for a camp spot. Here it is. Plenty of water here. I've just climbed up this slope here, and this is all marshy, kind of standing water in here. And I'm looking at some of these trees that might be close to the water, and a lot of flying insects up here. Bees, flies, and biting flies. I kind of gotta keep on the move. Okay, here's some nice access right here. I might look for a camp in these trees. Here we got another beaver. On. See, if I come down here, I'll just be attacked, I know, by these biting flies. Should I go farther? I don't know. I was thinking of going farther up Lots of standing pools in here, and I think I'll have a long looking ahead of me to find a better access than just down here. And so I'm going to look around for a camp spot. Thinking somewhere in here then, because yeah, there's some good opportunities in here and places to dry the clothes. Just right through here is a straight shot down to the water. There's the creek. It's got a strange name. I forgot it. Maybe it's Hodge Nibley Creek. The bugs are pretty prevalent here. I'm gonna have to wear my rain jacket to go down there to wash my clothes. And been waiting for it to be overcast because they're not so bad. And even if it rained, that would be better. Could get a lot done. And again, here it is. My tent is right in the middle of the sun. That's okay. It's gonna pass. Don't be scared. You a pretty one. Look at you. Did I wake you up sleeping? Did I wake you up, pretty girl? Maybe the bugs are gonna get you. Real nice meadow here. And Hodge Nibley Creek is in here, but it's just big, flat, kind of standing pooled water from the beaver work. And that means there's tons of bugs. Well, luckily, no big ones got me yet. And now there are black flies, and they can bite through clothing. I've got the clothing washed, drying. That's a relief. I got a kind of a light body wash with what I could do. And the tent is still in the sun, so I'm just passing the time. The back of the canyon here. Yeah, and the bugs, they don't want to get on camera. They'll sure bug me. Yes. That was crazy this morning. I kept thinking that I would be invaded, like this whole place would be full of sheep, like around my tent. And was crazy. They came from where I was last night, pretty much straight this way through the trees and the hills and the mountain, whatever. But what was interesting too was that there were some sheepdogs, and they were on this side of the group that we saw earlier. And that one saw me, and I get weirded out about dogs being loose and wild. So anyway, I got crappy sleep because of that. So I think even though I had earplugs, I think I subliminally heard them getting closer. And so last night, just at, sundown, kind of the chaos started going on. Deer or elk were coming into this place. I could hear them run up here. They probably smelled me or saw me and then took off running. I think the same female deer came around this way and ran off that way. And I had a strange noise the first time I've heard. It's like this warbling whistle kind of thing. But a little faster and it was getting closer to these trees, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And I'm fumbling with my camera, and these animals are all coming up here, and this warbling sound stopped. Maybe I don't know. I think it was a bird, a large bird I saw kind of fly away. And then the deer, when they'd run away, they would make this snorting, huffing sound. And so there was an owl that also started up. It may have been the same bird. He started up over there, real quiet, and started building up. But then these snorting deer got him stopped. And then I heard him again over here. So it was kind of a wild night. Also, this is cool. These guys are so cute. These chipmunks running along this downed tree. And they would stop and watch and look at me because it's it's their place. And here's this guy in this tent right there. Once in a lifetime deal for these critters. But then even the chipmunks were coming across, and real early this morning I saw a little tiny chipmunk go through here. And I would talk to them too. Because they would come out. There's these small squirrels. They'd come out and they'd be nervous and hesitant. And I'd talk to them and say, it's okay, come on, you can do it. And every time I talked, they'd kind of bump along again. And then right in the middle, they would get scared and run. I'm going today right through the forest over this ridge to drop into White Canyon, and I'm going to shoot right for that spring. I'll be able to see it, hopefully, and that big mountain, and I know exactly where it comes from. Shooting for the gap. Oh, hello. It's a good vantage point here to see the distant ridge. It's way back there. I don't see the rock formation yet, but I'm gonna have to cross this creek, and it's all overgrown like the last one. It's either going to be above where it's overgrown and not below, because that's such a distant trek around the bottom. So we're going to go for the top. We might even find a kind of access through the foliage there by the water. Now I got a shot of the rock. That's a good thing. Yeah, the spring is over there somewhere. And so, bones, cat turds, bones, cat turds, bones, and more here. It's a small deer, maybe. More cat turd. More over here. So, I'm just down at the bottom, I think, after a very short walk through the forest here. Yep, there's the bottom. And this is just like a side meadow, maybe? I'm still gonna shoot this way. Well, right now I wish I were on the other side of this thicket here. The creek bed is down at the bottom, and it's about maybe 75 yards wide. So I gotta circumvent it or find a way through. And so right here, I've got a possible route through this. If I had long legs, I'd walk right through this. That was a waste. And here is an old logging track, or mining track, on this side of the canyon. There it goes. Still more of this thick growth. I hope I can go around it soon. This rocky slope here, that's what I'm going to take just diagonally up to this clear spot up here. I'll get my water and head on up. And this well-worn trail on this side of the creek comes around the top here. I've got sage, I've got my rocks, and I've got water. I'm gonna fill up here and hope I don't get eaten up. Yeah, this will work. I'll just have to be gentle. Oh, this is so cool. I'm just gonna curl around this way. And I got some more weight on the bags. I'm up to 4 liters. That's 3 extra pounds, I think. Two. That's 2, 4. Now we're at 6 extra pounds. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Yeah, I'm almost at the top now. Beautiful. Back up on the crest. And logging signs, which means logging roads. Maybe there's one down the middle. And so I'm just shooting for the open spaces. I'm looking for that big tree in the middle there. Found the road, and I'm just a few minutes from the end here. Pretty amazing journey. Here it is. This is back at the first camp area for the last night. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a little cruise around.